You're listening to Wet Shaving Talk, powered by SharpRologist.com, where we're dedicated to preserving the art and skill of classic shaving. I'm your host, Joe Borrelli, and today is July 22nd, 2024. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I got a lot going on in the wet shaving world right now, believe it or not, even though it's summer. Beautiful Monday morning here, so I hope you guys are well and enjoying your summer, taking some time off, doing what usual people do on summertime, which is enjoy it, be outdoors, have barbecues, all that good stuff. I hope you guys are having a great summer so far, and if you're not, well, there's still time to fix it, right? There's still plenty of summer left. I can tell you first, apologize that missing the show and kind of going off the schedule a little bit. Just a lot of stuff happening. Summertime is usually a slow time for me, so it's good for work. But late this year hasn't been, so it's been pretty busy, which is also good. So you're when it's busy at work, it's good. Time goes by fast, and stuff to do. So I'm happy about that. But I don't like missing shows, so I apologize on that, guys. And we'll pretty solid for the rest of the summer. Should be pretty good to go here. Today on the show, we're going to talk about a few things going on in the wet shaving world, as well as a few things that I'm doing, and a question that I have for everybody at the end. So first off, we're going to talk about the return of the Sabre from Blackland Razors. This is an American-made razor making a return in a new and improved packaging and actual setup. So we'll talk about that. What are Frankenrazors? It's a question I've been getting. I got one email on that some time ago, and I didn't have a chance to mention it, but I want to talk about it now. What are Frankenrazors? Are they popular? Have you used a Frankenrazor, and how to actually make a Frankenrazor? So this week I was messing around with with different stuff, and I tried Gillette Foamy with a straight razor. I'll tell you my whole experience with that. It may not be as bad as before. I did, as you may think, I did use Barbasol several years ago with a straight razor, and I talked about it. So that wasn't as great as really that great of an experience. But I'll tell you about my experience with Foamy, and if you should use it with a straight razor. And apparently Gillette still sends out a free razor on your 18th birthday, and it still goes out to the majority of males in the United States when they right before they hit their 18th birthday. Did you get one? I'll tell you my experience when I got mine, and are they still doing it? I'll tell you all that and much, much more in today's Wet Shaving Talk. So without further ado, guys, let's get on with the show. So I was reading on Instagram the other day, and I saw that the return of the Sabre, which is a razor made by Blackland Razors. If you're unaware with Blackland, they are a small American razor company. All their razors are built in the United States, finished, all that good stuff. They've been around. Shane's been around making these razors for, I want to say about 13 or 14, at least 10 years, right? I'd say at least 10 years, because I remember one of the first interviews or first articles I ever wrote on a review was on a Blackland razor, right? So it was on their first model of razor. So we were able to, I was able to do that, and I remember it was the first packaging that came in like a tin. It was really cool, and they have been around since. Very popular with the with like the artisan group and with all the wet shavers, hobbyists and stuff like that, and still around. So they also, a few years back, came out the Sabre, which was a single edge razor that I guess had a little bit of a few issues here. I don't remember. I never used one. I don't remember reading anything bad about him, but I think he went and improved, and Shane and his team went ahead and improved the actual design of it. And what they did was they made it so it's adjustable, which was before. So it's an adjustable with a magnetic adjustment system, which is new. So I'm not sure how it works. I saw it on the website, and there's a picture of it in the show notes. It does work, and apparently it's going to be available for pre-orders in the next couple of days, if not now. Actually, yes, it's on the 19th, so you have 3 days in 4 days in. So yes, you can. It can actually still go and pre-order this razor if you're looking for it. I believe the price is around $250. It's 100% stainless steel, and it is ready to go. So one thing, guys, with I do want to mention with pre-orders, especially with artisan groups. When you're pre-ordering something, usually they're looking to get to see what kind of interest they're going to get with it, right? They're going to see, hey, 300 people want to pre-order this. This will tell me how much to make in my first batch. If he hasn't already made the razor or had to make it, and it will take, they'll have it all set and ready to go. Especially with something new like this, it helps them. It really helps them with filling an order, right? And make sure they don't have any inventory left over and money just set aside for that. So with smaller businesses, it's very crucial. The only thing is with us as consumers, we need to realize, hey, this is a small company. It may be some time before this razor comes. So I don't think we're in that position with Blackland right now. But the expectation of receiving this razor in the next couple of weeks probably is not going to happen, right? I would say with these smaller companies, if you do a pre-order, give them at least 2 to 3 months before you start really hounding them for it, because remember, these are all made to order, and pre-ordering them means he'll say, hey, if he's got 50 people that order them, he'll make the first 50 and maybe make 100 and keep 50 in stock. So just make sure that you're doing that and just being mindful to the artisan, because I think the first thing that I hear when there are pre-orders from some of the artisans that I know is that, hey, look, I get hounded by emails because where is my stuff? Where is it? I'm like, listen, I'm doing my best here. Or there might be a quality issue when it comes in. It might not be to par, and it might take a little longer to get it. So just bear with them. But the Sabre looks great on the site. It's got that cool magnetic adjustment system on it, which is pretty awesome. So looking forward to seeing some reviews on that and seeing them in everybody's hands and shaves of the day. Because it is, at the end of the day, it's a high-quality stainless steel razor. Everything they've made is pretty good. I think I have the Blackbird. I have the original Blackbird at home from this company, and I still use it from here and there, and it's still really a good razor. So I highly recommend their quality and their build. Just be patient when pre-ordering them and waiting for them, because you'll get it in time, and it'll be well worth it. So a question I've seen a lot in the forums recently, I saw it in Badger and Blade, I saw it in a couple other areas as well, is Frankenrazors. What are Frankenrazors? And why do a Frankenrazor? Why own a Frankenrazor? And is it worth it by piecing out a Frankenrazor? So Frankenrazors are razors that are composed of parts from one or more manufacturers. For example, it's basically a custom razor that you can make yourself, or some people do on their own as well. So basically, you could take a handle. Now, one thing about, especially with double-edge razors, guys, and a lot of single-edge razors, all of them use the same size, screw or whatever you want to say it, on the top cap, right? Most of them are universal with the 3-piece design, vintage still today, right? They all use the same size, same groove. So, and that's for a reason. So they are interchangeable, right? So you can change them out. So what if you have a Wolfman razor, right? And then you wanted to put a handle on it, but you really like your Mongoose handle, right? The Mongoose handles are very well made and known. A lot of people use it. Well, there's nothing stopping you from putting them together, right? You could just put them the same screw and same bolt, and you could screw them in, and you can kind of have your own top cap with top cap and guard with a handle, and that would be your That's sort of a Frankenrazor, right? That's pretty much a good Frankenrazor, right? You have your own handle and all that. That's kind of what we're talking about with this. Some guys like to use different top caps on different razors. Now, that won't always work. A lot of them don't fit properly. Some of them, the different designs may not work, but some of them do, so you kind of have to play with it. And you could do that as well, or you can do a different guard on your razor, a different handle, and you can have 3 different makers on one razor. It is possible to do that. Example, I did a Frankenrazor recently where I took a Gillette Tech. I took a 3-piece. I took the handle off of a Maggard's just standard handle, right, that they made. I forgot the name of the handle. It was pretty cool. it was like the 001 or something like that too, like one of his first handles or designs. I forgot the name, the part number on it, because I really liked that handle. And then I took the top cap off of my BBS Zero or my Persona razor, and I put them together, and they actually fit on that particular design. And I just tried shaving with it. I got a pretty decent shave. I thought it was really cool. It was kind of like shaving with a BBS one from Wolfman or from Los Angeles Shaving Company. And the reason why I did that was just, I was just playing around. I had the parts, and I just decided to do it. I thought it was pretty cool, right? That was a Frankenrazor. That's a true expression of a Frankenrazor. It had 3 different manufacturers, 3 different parts, and I combined my own razor with that. And it was fun. I had a good time. The only thing I would remind you guys is if you want to put the original razors back together, make sure you know or write down, have a list of the parts. Like this handle came off my Gillette Tech. The top cap came off the BBS Zero, and then the guard came off the Gillette Tech or whatever it was, or vice versa, or this is a custom handle, whatever. And just make sure that you are, remember where they go, because sometimes they all look the same and sometimes they're not labeled. So, it's not uncommon to buy a custom razor handle to put on your 3-piece razor. I recommend it. I think they're really, it's really fun to do that. You can get some great designs, and you can get your own little custom design without having to go buy a custom razor. So, those are the main things with the Frankenrazors. Now, why do it exactly to have your own custom piece? Does it make a better shaving experience? It can make a worse shaving experience. It can also just be, more aesthetic and or just more of cosmetic. Sorry, it would be more just something that you want to see and have and just kind of show off. I know a lot of guys use custom handles, so it's pretty cool. So Frankenrazors are really basically what you can. The mind is endless with this one. It's whatever the imagination can come up with. You can come up with a million different types of razors and different types of ways of doing it. So enjoy, have fun with it, send pictures out when you do it, and really just have a good time. It's a great part of the hobby that you can just play around with. So I do recommend playing around with Frankenrazors if you get a chance, especially with 3-piece razors. Now, with certain adjustable razors, I'm not too sure that's going to work. So I don't think you can get too many adjustable razors apart like that. And it definitely doesn't work straight razors. So unless you want to change scales out. But I think if you're going to change scales, custom scales are probably the way to go. And I wouldn't take old scales off an old razor, put them on another one, because they end up being brittle. So I would say this is for the 3-piece design safety razor. If you can do it any other way as well, good for you. But I mean, that's pretty much the standard Frankenrazor. Gillette Foamy with a straight razor. I'm putting a question mark on that because, yes, I did do it. And I'll tell you the story. So I went traveling recently. I went on a very short trip, and I brought a travel can of Gillette Foamy with me. And I put it in my little DOP kit, and I brought it with me. Now, I don't travel. When I fly, I don't bring straight razors with me because I don't want to lose them. So I usually bring a double-edged safety razor, something that's kind of a good shaver but cheap. Example, usually I used to bring a Gillette Tech with me or a blue tip or something like that, something just that I'm not worried if I lose it I can get another one. This trip I couldn't really bring much because I was traveling with just carry-on. So I had to bring Gillette Foamy, and I had to bring like a little disposable razor with me just because I was only going to be gone for a few days. And I wasn't bringing a carry-on, and I didn't want to lose anything I brought with me or get stopped at security or anything like that. So I had the Gillette Foamy. I used it, and I said, it's not too bad. I like the scent. I have never used Gillette Foamy before, believe it or not. And I used to use Barbasol all the time before I was wet shaving. So that's why I said, you know what? I saw this travel size. I grabbed it, tried it out. And I thought it was actually probably better performing than Barbasol, if I can remember. I didn't try them side by side, but it performed well when I was traveling. So when I got back, I still had some left in the can. I was like, you know what? I got to do a straight razor shave. I'm kind of in a rush. I don't want to use a disposable or another form of shaving. I just want to use a straight razor for that day. And I used the Foamy. So the Foamy, I did it the way I just used it. I just took a shower, came out. I put it on my face, and I just wanted to go shave with it. And it actually wasn't too bad. It was actually really good. The thing is, what I noticed with the Foamy is that it gives a good lather, and it really got my whiskers to stand up, but it was very dry, if that makes sense. So I shaved with the straight razor. I got a really good close shave with it, but my face was dry afterwards, and I didn't really like that feeling. So I kind of went with a moisturizer, skin moisturizer afterwards, because I guess that's why it works well with cartridge razors, is because it dries out the skin, sticks up the hair, and it cuts it really good, but it kind of dries you out. It wasn't moisturizing. So with a straight razor, you really need that kind of slick lather. Like you need that water mix. It really helps with the whole overall experience and kind of makes it work better. But with an experienced straight razor shaver, you can shave with anything. You can shave with like hand soap if you wanted to. And that's why I know my face pretty well, and I tried it, and I got a good clean shave on it. The only thing is my face is dry afterwards. So would I recommend this for straight razor shaving? No, I wouldn't, especially to a beginner. It does dry your skin out. It does kind of give you a false sense of accomplishment or a false sense of confidence when you're using it, because it makes you feel like it does stick up the hairs, and it makes it easy to cut, but it's not cutting as well as it should, because it's just drying your skin out and making it so the hairs stick up, right? And it's easier to cut at the bottom. So it does give you a quick shave, but it's just not enjoyable, and it will definitely come back you can definitely get some irritation and possibly ingrown hairs because it's cutting too underneath the skin. You don't want to do that. So I would not recommend using Gillette Foamy with a straight razor if you can avoid it. In a pinch, or if you're more experienced, yeah, you can use it. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to destroy your face, but it won't work as well as regular soap and lather or regular cream with water added to it, unless there's other ways or other hacks you can do with this. But it's really kind of like a one-way type of use. You can't really add water to these canned goos or anything like that. So it's good stuff. I think it works well. Probably works great with cartridge razors. Straight razor, decent shave. Wouldn't recommend it long term, and especially for the beginner. So that's my thoughts on Gillette Foamy. If you've ever tried it with a straight razor or another razor, and you've had similar results or way different, you say, "Hey, whoa, Joe, you're way off." Send me an email. I'd love to read about it, because I'm really interested in seeing how people take classic wet shaving stuff with modern, I guess, creams and canned goos and all that stuff, aftershaves, right? So Gillette, still sending out a free razor on your 18th birthday. I should have put a question mark in that in the show notes, but I didn't, because apparently they still do. So taking a look on the list, on the show notes, you can see that Gillette, the packaging that comes with, they send you a Fusion 5 or whatever the latest razor is with a cartridge in it, and they send it to you on your first 18th birthday. So I was going to say first birthday. It's like, nah, that's not going to work. First birthday as a man in the United States. Apparently, this is what they do. I did receive one myself. I remember getting it on the month that I turned 18. I thought it was pretty cool. I never used it. I don't know what happened to it. I believe it was a Mach 3, because back then Mach 3 was the number one. So I turned 18 in 2001, and that means the Mach 3 came out in 98. So it would have been the Mach 3 that I received. So I don't remember receiving it. I do remember buying a Mach 3 in 2003, I believe. When I first started, when I had my first wet shave, because I used to use my dad taught me how to shave on an electric razor. So that's what I used to use back in the day, and used it for many years until I switched to the Mach 3, and I used that for a few years, and the electric razor, and then I discovered traditional wet shaving and all that stuff. So I didn't realize that they were still doing this. I thought they stopped, but I guess they still do. And they're still sending you this free razor on your 18th birthday. And I believe most of us, if you were turning 18 in the 90s till today, remember the experience of getting it in the mail. Is this a good marketing technique, or do you think it's outdated? That was a question I was going to ask you guys, because I think this is an awesome marketing technique. Like, this is like, hey, we're Gillette, we're giving you a razor on your 18th birthday. Here's a present from us. enjoy it. Hopefully you join, our team, right? I think maybe in the 90s and even about up until about 10 years ago, it was probably really effective because Gillette was the majority of the business, right? It was the majority of the market. Now you have Dollar Shave Club. You have so many different versions. Like people are no longer just like, hey, I go to the store and buy things. There's so many options. There's Amazon. There's all these other places to go online. It's probably not as easy to get a Gillette razor, or it's not as easy for them to get 100% of the market share. So they're definitely continuing to do this. This is a great way of advertising, and I think a great marketing technique for years. I'm sure it works, because think about, you get the Gillette razor, you get the first 2 blades maybe, and then when the blades go bad, as in Gillette fashion, that's what they created. They didn't create the razor to be resold. They created the blades. They made their money on the blades. And that's how they do it now to this day. So, I mean, if you think about it, being 18, getting a gift like that, Gillette being a long-time name, that's a good little gift. A lot of guys going away to college, a lot of guys just moving out of the house, a lot of people just, experiencing life without having to go to school during that time. It's really a cool gift to get. So I think it's still a great marketing technique. I still think it works. It would work on me if I got it. And I hope the day when my son turns 18, he gets one too, because it'll be a cool little a life event for him and me to enjoy too. Mostly me right now, but I think he'll enjoy it as well, because I think it's pretty cool to get that, and I think it's a great tradition. All right, guys, so that concludes the show for this week. I appreciate your patience and really understanding during this time. A lot of stuff going on in the world. And we'd love to keep this podcast going. We keep it just so you can come here and talk wet shaving and listen to that. No other stuff involved. So I really like keeping it that way, and you guys enjoying it as well. And again, it's something that I also love doing. I love wet shaving, so I hope you guys love it just as much as me, if not more. Remember, our show is powered by Sharpologist.com. What your father didn't teach you about shaving. I want to give a special thanks to Mark Mantic, a.k.a. Mantic59, for everything he does for the wet shaving community. And most of all, you guys, the listeners. Don't forget to check out my book on Amazon. Link is in the show notes if you haven't seen it. The Modern Guide to Straight Razor Shaving. Our next show will be on the 5th of August. Until then, guys, shave straight and shave safe. Bye-bye now.